Let's take a few minutes to sing. But wake up. Okay. Welcome. So we're gonna. This is the beginning of a two-part learning. We can make it many more parts, but we don't have that much time to Rosh Hashana. So we're going to learn from Piaseczna Rabbi Sefer Derech HaMelech. And this is a drasha from Rosh Hashana Be'el Aleph, the first night Rosh Hashana, 1931. Tafresh Tzadi Aleph, Tishrei of that year was probably 1930. A couple months till December, January, whatever. Let's just jump in. Starts with the pasuk Tiku b'chodesh shofar b'kesed yom chagenu. Tiku b'chodesh shofar. Make a blast in the month in the shofar. This is a pasuk from Tehillim, from Psalms. B'kesed yom chagenu. It's a very strange phrase covering the day of our celebration. Kesed. That's what, we'll see immediately what the rabbis say this means. The Shu Chazal, the Gemara says, Eize chag she'achodesh mitkaseh bo ze Rosh Hashana. The rabbis learned that the mention of month and of holiday and of shofar, we're talking about Rosh Hashana. Chodesh also means Rosh Chodesh, means the new month. And Rosh Hashana is beginning of the month Tishrei. Right? So when are you blowing a blast? at a new month in the covering of a holiday. So this is Rosh Hashana. But Chazal says something interesting. What holiday do we have when the new moon is covered over? Because most of our festivals, almost all of the three regalim, our real festivals take place in the full moon, 15th. What holiday do we have when you can't see the moon, covered, so to speak? The only holiday that's also the night of the new moon, when you can't see a moon, is Rosh Hashana, and that's when we're brought in Shofar. So the Rebbe asks, Navina, we need to understand, Ma shayach kisui echad l'tkiyat shofar? What does the covering, like the covered moon holiday, have to do with blowing a shofar? Because in the verse they come together, right? It's as if the rabbis are learning that since the moon is covered over, this is the time you need to blow a shofar. So this is what the first question is asking. And what's the whole thing of judgment? He's just loading the questions up, okay? And he brings another question that's based in the Tikkun Zar, which is a separate book from the Sefer HaZohar. It's its own special book in similar language, but a different style. It says in Tikkun Zar, Shehadin b'Rosh Hashana u'shlosh asfarim bo niftachim u'minar dinur u'vetovli nishmati b'ainar dinur mizuhamati. Very maybe cryptic statement in Tikkun Zar. It says that the judgment of Rosh Hashanah and the three books that are opened on that day, somehow this all emerges from the Nahar Dinur, the river of the Dinur River, which is a river that the rabbis explain that the souls are tovlin by. They immerse in that river, and they're cleansed from their zuhama, from their filth, from their corruption. Some kind of like mythic image, but this somehow, immersing in this river has something to do with the books being open, the Day of Judgment. Okay, he's asking it as a question. But what we learn from here, without even trying to understand what it actually is saying, but one thing we see on the surface of it is that it's not just a simple point of judgment. It's actually a form of becoming purified, like jumping into the mikvah. So let's please understand it.
I mean, the connection between din and the Tefillah.
Yeah, but that the quality of din of Rosh Hashanah is like Tefillah, is like a mikvah. It's not a simple standing before a judge. It's immersing in some kind of purifying river. Before we even jump in, the Rebbe is going to continue to quote from the Tikkun Zar. And also from Tehillim. And I just want to, what I think part of where he's coming from is that there's a minhag, there's a Chassidish minhag. I'm not sure if maybe it's Kabbalistic in its source, but throughout the month of Elul, in preparation for Rosh Hashanah, the 30 days to learn Tikkun Zar and say Tehillim every day. And that the Sefer Tikkunim, the Tikkun Zar is broken. There, you can buy a little book, have one at home, where the Tikkunim are broken into 30 days of Elul, from Rosh Chodesh till Rosh Hashanah. And Tehillim are also broken into 3 days. So the Tehillim and the Tikkunim are somehow kind of flushing together, and we'll see that the Rebbe is doing really just masterful things with those two words. Okay. Omnam ita b'yom Rosh Hashanah. It says in the book of Nehemiah. Okay, we actually have one source in all of Tanakh where we actually hear an account of Rosh Hashanah, and it's in the book of Nehemiah, where they recover a Torah scroll and they read from it, and then just if you read in the context there, it's like Bnei Israel didn't have the Torah for however many years, they didn't even know what was written in it. And they read it publicly and everybody starts crying. We're going to see in a moment, they're all upset because they're hearing the Torah for the first time in their lives and realizing they haven't kept any of God's commandments.
This is when they're in Babel?
This is when they return. I believe it's when they return. I have to work on my Tanakh Bikut, but I think it's when they return. Okay? Yeah. So what does Nehemiah say to them? Hayom kodeshu l'Hashem Elokeichem. After the whole nation starts crying and bawling, falling on their faces, he says, listen, today, Rosh Hashanah, this is a day that's holy to Hashem, your God. Al titablu v'al tifku. Don't mourn and don't cry. Ki bochim kol ha'am kisham'am et divrei Torah. Because the whole nation, when they're hearing the words of Torah, they're all crying. Ad kan lashon pasuk, right? But the prophet said, no, don't cry. I know so now the Rebbe is saying, even though they're sinning, they're crying about their sins. Amar lahem al titablu al tifku. He's saying to them, no, don't cry. Shouldn't be mourning that. So now the Rebbe says, well, Ikar Rosh Hashana will leave coat with Ashuv al Chataim. The core of Rosh Hashana, you should be crying in Rosh Hashana. We need to be doing tshuva for all the distance between us and God, right? So why is Nehemiah telling them don't cry, don't mourn? Me'arizal ita shemisha eno boche b'yemim elu siman hu shenafsho nifgemet. It's brought in the name of the Arizal that somebody who doesn't cry during the Yamim Noraim, no tears during the time, it's an indication that something in your soul is in the wrong place, that you're damaged. Right? It's even brought in the name of the Ari, if I'm not mistaken, that when you cry during the Yamim Noraim, the tears that are coming, that is the moment you're being judged in heaven. That the tears are a sign of your soul being tuned into the essence of these days. So why are they being told don't cry? So the Rebbe says, the crying of Rosh Hashanah is not meant to be crying. It's not mournful crying. Right? He said, Al titablu v'al tifku. Don't mourn and cry. The crying during this day is not a crying of mourning, it's crying of joy. It's joyful crying. What is mourning? Mourning is the pain of despair, of loss, and pain of something that's never going to come back. That's what mournful tears are. But joy is about being strengthened. So we see already that the kind of joy he's talking about is not some happy-go-lucky, but it's a joy of, I would say if we contrast it with the kind of mournful crying, the hitchazkut, that strengthening that's happening during this time is a joy of the possibility of recovery, of restoration, a hope that's emerging. Doesn't mean like everything's perfect, but there's a re-strengthening that causes those tears.
So instead of she'eno chozer,
right,
Shalom is daf chozer.
Right. It's that there is hope. There's a possibility here. I just love the tefillot of the Yamim Noraim. One of the things we ask for over and over again, Tikva tova l'dorshecha. We ask God to give good hope for all who seek you. It's like so simple and so spot on. So he goes on. So even though, we need to be concerned about our sins, about our shiflut, our low state, and we do cry a lot. There's a lot of tears we pour over those things. Our hearts are broken and we're in trepidation, in fear of judgment of this day. But nonetheless, on Rosh Hashanah, you show up, you dress in white, wrap yourself in white. Right? Chazal already talks about this, like who walks into court in the holiday dress? That's what we're doing on Rosh Hashanah. We're walking into the courtroom dressed in our finest white. Why are we all dressed up for the party? Because it's with the hope that we're going to be strengthened from here on in order to serve God with our whole hearts and bodies. And that God will accept our return and will forgive and pardon us. Okay, so yes, it's not to say we're not ignoring misdeeds, we're not ignoring our flaws, but the prime driver of this day is the hope of being strengthened. That it's a new beginning. But from here on, we're ready to go forward and to take a step closer. So there's a joy and a strengthening that's at the core of Rosh Hashanah. So that's why Nehemiah said, don't cry out of mourning. Okay? So remember I said to you, he's going to quote the Tikkunei Zohar over and over and over again. In the introduction to the Tikkunei Zohar, it says, Pasuk in Mishlei, Kitzipor nodedet min kana ken ish noded min komo. Like a bird who tarries, who wanders from its nest, so too a person wanders from their place. Right, like these wandering birds, misplaced birds. So says the Tikkun Zohar, what's the bird that's wandered from its nest? The bird is the Shekhinah. It's God's presence, which has been distanced from its place. The Shekhinah has been misplaced, like a bird away from its nest. Shimin Chorban Beit HaMikdash Yarda HaShechina B'china Malkut Mimkomot HaRachokim. From the time of the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, God's presence, the Shekhinah, the Malchut, the kingship of God, the majesty, has descended to far-off places. It's not where it should be. The palace has been abandoned. Okay? And furthermore, the Tikkunim go on and say, so too a person is wandering from their own place, Dam Moshe. This is Moshe Rabbeinu. We'll read on, he's going to explain, but the Tikkunim go on and say that the Ish that's traversing, kind of wandering from their own place, the misplaced people, start to speak about tzaddikim, while wandering the earth like the Shekhinah. We'll read on a little bit. Ve'od kenish noded mimkomo man di'ihu ish tzadik da'az yolna v'nan me'atre b'shchinta. Who is the person who's wandering from the place? The person who's a tzaddik, who is walking na v'na, right? That was Cain, was sent to wander listlessly, so to speak, me'atre b'shchinta, from their place in the Shekhinah. A person is walking the path of the Shekhinah. So the Shekhinah, God's presence, has been misplaced. And so too, people who are truly attuned to the state of things in this world are wandering the earth, like the Shekhinah, or the language here is in the Shekhinah. They're actually with the Shekhinah, walking without a home. And I'm sure we all know that this was a practice of tzaddikim throughout the generations, to exile themselves, to attach themselves to the Shekhinah and exile. We have accounts of Ramak, of Moshe Cordovero, of his wanderings with in personal exile of the Shekhinah. You know, the stories of Reb Zushan, Reb Elimelech, who lived homelessly, who attached themselves to the Shekhinah, who was homeless. So this is the Tikkunim is speaking about a person who's like this lost bird, who's walking with the lost bird. So now the Rebbe is going to explain. Shemoshe Rabbeinu v'gam hatzadik nodedim mashchina mimakom kedushatam v'shorsham lemala. Moshe Rabbeinu, our eternal teacher, and likewise all true tzaddikim who are embodying the voice of Torah. So they wander with the Shekhinah from their holy place and their root above. Uvederech nididatam mitkarvim l'chol ish Yisrael. In their wanderings, they come close to every one of us. Right? They leave. You think holy people, holy souls. They don't need to be connected with this world. But they leave the realm of holiness to descend to our life. They're in a sense messengers to come and connect us to a holy reality that's lost in our world. Yeah. So in their wanderings, they meet people like us. Af hanemuchim, even the lowest people. L'rucham v'libam l'ha'ir lahem l'ha'alatam. They connect. They touch the spirit and the heart of people to give them light and to lift them. But not everybody descends and wanders together with the Shekhinah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's saying not even all righteous people. About all the souls, the Tikkunim go on to say, now they're bringing something else with another bird association we just read on Shabbos, the mitzvah of Shiluch HaKam, of sending away the mother bird. Tikkunim in the Hakdama, it's all about the mother bird. Shalech teshalech et ha'im. It says about all the different souls. The Tikkunim go on and talk about the teachers of Mishnah, of Mikra, of Torah, of this and that. All these teachers, it says about them, send off the mother bird. Why are you sending off the mother bird? Delayed Godfrey de lahon shlemi in the parchim bahon. The mother bird is sent away because the chicks were the teachers. Okay, the chicks don't have strong or mature enough wings to fly. So they send off the mother bird. Just go with me for a minute, okay? Aval Amari Kabbalah ne'emar lo tikach et e'em al. But then the Tikkunim say, but Mari Kabbalah, the masters of Kabbalah, of the inner dimensions of Torah, lo tikach et e'em al habanim. Hem minadadim ima yachad. For them, we don't take the mother away from the children because they remain connected with the mother. This is what the Tikkunim say. Okay, so again, righteous people, righteous souls, teachers come to this world to connect people in all sort of distance and low places to holiness. But even then, they don't all merit to remain attached to the Shekhinah, who's exiled. Even for them, it says the mother bird, in this case, the Shekhinah, she gets sent away from them because their wings aren't strong enough to fly with her. But for Mari Kabbalah, the masters of Kabbalah, like the Tikkun I was speaking about, for them it says, no, they stay together with them. You don't separate them from each other. That they stay together, Yachad im Shekhinah. They can be in exile together with God's exile. Okay, let's read on. V'ayem b'kisei melech, he says, look at the commentary on this work. Shemevi et Zohar Kodesh Pashat Achrei Shemechalik ben Marei Kabbalah Marei Razi Torah Shem Lamala miMarei Kabbalah V'rak hem medadidim mima yachad hashar achokim hashchina ayim sham. So the Kisei Melech, one of the commentaries on the Tikkun Zohar, brings another source in the Zohar. It says there's such things as there's people who are called Marei Kabbalah, people who are masters of Kabbalah, but then there are people who are called Marei Razi Torah, masters of the secrets of Torah. And it's only the masters of secrets of Torah who stay together with the Shekhinah, with the mother bird, not just masters of Kabbalah. They too can be exiled. But somebody who's tuned into Razei Torah, they're the ones who stay together with the mother bird. Okay. Keep the paradigm with us here. Nimtza she'ata achar hachorban kol hanefila hi mehanidida hazot. We find, therefore, that now, after the Chorban, right, after the destruction of the temple, Kol hanefila hi mihanida hazot, all fallenness, every fall, every descent, it comes from this wandering, from this mother bird who's out of place. Hashchina nodedet me'atra, the Shekhinah is wandering from her home, v'gama anu, and we too. This is our fall. This is all of our fallen states, of our fallen experiences. Is from this misplacement that it's rooted in the Chorban Habayit, Beit HaMikdash, the Shekhinah being chased away. And even as we wander, we're also not connected with the Shekhinah. So it's one thing, it would be enough if God is wandering and we're somehow like together with God, like you could think of Bnei Yisrael in the desert, right, with the Anan, Ananei Kavod, the clouds hovering over them, and the fire, and the Man. But no, God is wandering lost, and we're also wandering lost, and we're not even wandering with God. We're like in two different wildernesses. This is what we're dealing with. Okay? Hamarei Razei Torah krovim hashchina. But the masters of the hidden Torah, or the secrets of Torah, they are close to the Shekhinah. Ein bahem hester v'chet. They're the ones who have no concealment and chet and misdeed or an off reality that keeps them distanced from God. A disconnect. V'nedidatam mevirak to'elet. Their wanderings bring only benefit. L'ha'ir le'ish Yisrael gam b'nemichuto, in order to bring light to souls of Am Yisrael, even to people in their lowest places. Right? There are some people who are so tuned in, who are able to remain connected to God even when they wander into all these low places. And you can meet people there and help bring them that light. But everybody else, for whom the Tikkunim say the mother is sent away from them, right? The bird, they're away from the nest. Even holy people, even teachers of Torah, there's still times when they just completely fall because of this hiddenness, because of this detachment. So that, therefore, what is our holy work? What is our job? What is the whole thing about? It's about becoming close to the Shekhinah, to the presence of God, to the Malchut of God, to God's kingship. And to be to reach that quality of the masters of the secrets of Torah according to our own abilities. That each one of us, that's our avoda, is to become tuned into the secrets of Torah, tuned into the exiled Shekhinah, to the wandering holy reality, to the degree to which we can. You mean this time of year?
Yeah.
We'll get to what's unique about this time of year. You're forecasting. we're gonna go. Uchenoda shemalchut hibate b'rai she'in atzvut sham rak oz v'chedva k'di'ita b'marsha b'gmara. Okay. Remember the Rebbe said, start off by saying we're crying on Rosh Hashana tears of joy and strength, not tears of mourning or sadness. So it's known that malchut, right, where he's saying that the avoda, our worship of God has to do with coming close to the Shekhinah in her exile. So the malchut of God is called bate b'rai, the outer chambers. Gemara there in Chagiga says that in the outer chambers it's oz v'chedva b'mkomo. God's place is always one of strength and of joy. The inner chamber is God can have a broken heart and cry. But the malchut, the Marshal, the great commentary on the Gemara says that the outer chambers is a reference to the malchut. God's kingship is a place of joy, even in the exile. When you connect to God in that place, it's one of just expansive joy and strength. Okay, so this is the chena tshuva tzricha liot b'simcha. So what? Right, our avoda, our work is to come close to touching that place of godliness, that point of godliness. So it has to be powered and fueled with joy. It has to be an experience of strengthening, not of destroying us. Right?
Would that be the hit kirut al Shekhinah that he said?
That attaching to the Shekhinah, to the Malchut, is by definition, it's going to be an experience of joy. We'll be experiencing joy in this world. Because oz v'chedva b'mkomo, there's a strength that persists even when we meet God in exile. En shafal ani v'rachok mi Hashem. It's true. I'm a low creature. I'm far away from God. Umi yodea imuchal lashuv al kol p'kamai. And who knows if it's ever going to be possible for me to do tshuva, to transcend or overcome all of my flaws and my imperfections. Aval Hashem kel tov v'salach. But you know what? And what he's doing here, by the way, he's articulating for us what the joy and strength looks like. Yes, it's true. I know what I am and who I am. But nonetheless, Hashem kel tov v'salach. God is good and forgiving. I say that every single day in Tefillah. Ki el tov v'salach. There's a quality of God that transcends my brokenness. God's goodness and forgiveness is stronger still than my messiness, than my imperfection. And even though I've made so many promises over and over and over again, and my days are just passing, continuing to pass I'm in just such a low place still. ואם לפני 10 שנים למשל, שהיו שנותיים מרובים, עם עוד שנים חדשים, שבועות ימים במספר ולא עשיתי, and it could be there was 10 years ago, I had a good 10 years ahead of me to do all this, and look how much time has passed. Look at all the days and the months and the weeks. And I didn't do it. I had so many good intentions and promises. By the way, like I'm already feeling Yom Kippur, right? We start to saying Kol Nidre, we say like everything I promised, forget about it. It's meaningless. The Rebbe is saying, look at all the promises I made. Look at all the things I thought and said that I would strive for. How's it going to be possible if I couldn't do it 10 years ago when I had the strength and the poise and the desire to do it? Well, I'm going to do it now. Now I'm going to finally make good on all that. Mikol makom, nonetheless. Afal pichem, right? Even so, even with all of that admission of how my life really truly is, et azer b'chol kochi. I'm going to try again. I'm going to gird myself with all the strength that I have. Ve'et chazek me'ata. And from this moment on, be stronger. This is the statement of Oz v'chedva b'mkomo. This is a statement of what it looks like to have hope on Rosh Hashana. We face the deen. The deen isn't something you ignore. We're not happy because we're ignoring the deen. We come to shul in white clothes and we daven and we're sincere on that day because we're tapping into a possibility that still lives within us and that still lives in our world, even though we see all that we haven't been. All that is true. And yet there's a time to touch potential and draw strength, which is whatever happened and whatever I am, it's possible to draw strength at this moment. Right? Or as Chazal says, that a person is judged ba'asher hu sham, in the place they are in that moment. Chayut chaser li. I don't have energy. I don't have vitality anymore. Hitrachkut v'hastarat panim hayali v'nafalti. I've experienced distance. I've experienced God being hidden from me, and I fell there. Ve'ata et karev Hashem. But now in this moment, I'm going to draw close to God. Hashem yikarveni. God, please bring me close. V'ya'ir et livi v'mochi. Illuminate, light up my heart and my mind. Ve'avdehu me'ata avodat tama u'shlema. And let me serve God from this moment on. Avodat tama u'shlema. Whole and pure and simple service. Let me start serving you for that. This is just kind of an aside, but we see throughout the Rebbe's writings, especially in Derech HaMelech, he'll basically model for us. You know, I feel like he's teaching here, and he just starts praying. You know, he like took himself to that place, and this is what it looks like for a human being, a real human being, to be real about our own lives and still want to come close to God. Right? This is what realistic hope looks like.
Exactly.
Realistic hope. Now listen. This is the part that. I was telling Yiska that what made me want to give these classes in preparation for Rosh Hashana was that over the summer I opened this Torah and I read these words and I felt like this is a Torah that has to be heard. So that's what we're doing. Okay, listen to what the Rebbe says.
We have that in Torah root.
Listen to what the Rebbe says. Kol inyan ha'chet bazman hazeh. The whole reality of chet, of sin, of misguidedness. In this time, in our day and age, it's a outgrowth of loss and of distance, of what's gone, what's missing. Sin exists because there's so much that's missing. Okay, that's all. The whole idea of sin in our day and age is because we're missing so much, because we're so far. From this mother bird being sent off, from being completely disconnected and passed away from God's presence. We're going to see more as we read on this paragraph, but already we're hearing a complete shift in the way we think about the idea of sin. Right? Who sent God away from the Beit HaMikdash? This was okay. There were human beings who were responsible for this, but Baruch Hu got up and left for the Beit HaMikdash. Baruch Hu decided enough. Shechina is leaving the building. And now what we have left is like groping in the dark. So everybody says, okay, you're aware of your sins, you fall a lot of the time, you feel like you have no hope. Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. This is what it's like in our day and age. But it's not because you're bad. It's not because you're irreparable.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Don't take all the credit
Don't take all the
here,
credit.
okay? Don't think it's all about you. There's so much. The whole world has been distanced from God. So what else is there going to be? What else do you expect to look like when we live so distant from holiness, from Shekhinah? Let's read on here, okay? The Gemara says that the Anshe Knesset Agdola, already a couple thousand years ago, they vanquished the desire to serve idolatry, to serve foreign gods. The Rebbe says it wasn't just going to bow to a rock. That's not the only yetzer, the desire to serve foreign gods. The foreign worship that is at the core of any sin, they also did away with. It means already that sin from that point on, sin from the Korban and on, sin from the time of Anshe Knesset Gedolah and on, we're not turning our backs on God. We're not actually denouncing God. Listen to what he has to say. Somebody who truly knows their master. And their heart, their mind, it's not disconnected from God. It's not disconnected from holiness. And they go ahead and go against God's word. There you have there you have a spark of foreign worship. But the Anshe Knesset Gedolah said, you know what? This doesn't exist anymore. Nobody knows God anymore and chooses to do something against God's will. V'hayish Yisrael ata, and in our day and age as well. When a person feels some kind of awakening, some kind of holiness alive in them, they're not going to sin in that moment. When they're able to actually be a little bit close, so we know like we're game, you know, we're happy to go ahead with it.
Chapter on the
Yeah.
You're in that space. You can't sin.
Yeah.
Right.
It's only when you fall out
Right.
of that space.
Right. So when we have an awakening, when we're feeling that there's holiness inside of us, we're not going to go against God. Hey, what did Leonard Cohen say? When you're not feeling holy, you're something that says that you've sinned. I always miss that word. When we're not feeling holy, that's when we're out of it, so to speak. We're in this nod and nod reality. We're in this wandering reality. There's times when we touch it, and then we're not going to be railing against God. We live in a fallen world. So we live as a fallen life to the degree that we're people who live in this fallen reality. And even more so, if right now we had the level of revelation that there was in the days of the Beit HaMikdash, that there was when there were prophets walking around. In that time of God's presence being truly revealed in the world, he says all of Am Yisrael, they were like God's angels, even in their bodies. I'm trying to think about what he means by that. One thing that occurs to me is that, you know, like all those mitzvot of Tuma and Tahara, like such thing as your body living in a state of purity, because you know that you're coming into contact with the Beit HaMikdash. Like it's just this conceptual thing for us now. We have no idea what Tuma and Tahara means. We have no idea what it's like to engage in a visceral, physical way with godliness directly. But when we do have some inkling of that feeling, so we're totally there. We're not gonna We're not going to do chata'im. But that's not what our world looks like. Rak b'sha'ah shene'ezav. But in a time when a person has been abandoned, when they've been left, nodedhu minkomo mikol ha'kedusha. So they wander from their place, from the place of holiness. Ve'eino mirazei Torah. And they're not included among those who are Marei Razei Torah, right? The ones who are included in that secret of Torah. Lo shleimim le'gad for the parchubu, as the Tikkun Zohar says, they don't have wings to fly. V'nish'arhu ne'ezav begalut, and the person remains abandoned, exiled. Ne'ezav im nafsho, abandoned together with their soul. Sarot hanefesh, pains of their soul. V'ne'ezav beguf, v'da'agot kufaniot, and abandoned in body, and all sorts of concerns of material concerns. This is where all sin comes from. But again, don't sit there crying mournfully. Nehemiah was telling the people too, okay, you didn't have the Torah. God's ready to celebrate with you. If you're going to cry, you should cry from the hope that allows you to tap into. And about all of these things, all of this reality, the Ish Yisrael, the person whose soul of Israel cries out, says unto him, Eli, Eli, lama azavtani? My God, why have you abandoned me? Mikol divrei tfilotav v'tzakotav ola tfila azu lama azavtani. Every prayer, every true prayer we have, every cry and scream and fetch we have to God, there's a single prayer that rises up from that, saying, God, why did you abandon me? Why did you leave me? Even when a person is praying over their own personal concerns, the need, these material needs, I need money, I need food, I have a bum leg, whatever it is. It's even not all of it. It's really, there's just this one thing that we're praying. The one prayer we're saying, all of our prayers is, why did you leave me, God? Why did you distance yourself from me? Why did you cast me away? What's the prayer behind it? That's one thing I have to say.
Because everything else is just a prot of this.
It's all a byproduct of being neglected and abandoned. The mother bird flew the coop. Right? That's like literally what we're talking about here. And we have, just as our default position, we're not attached to Razei Torah, to this sort of hidden, concealed place where God is here in full presence and revelation. Most of us, we're not. Our world is just not. It's not in a revealed way. That's not how we live. That's not the world that we exist within. So what we have to say to God is, why did you leave me? Why did you leave me? And we actually say psukim over and over again in Tishrei, right? Every Chazar Hashat, we open the Aron, say Shema Kolei, Hashem Elokeinu Chutz V'Rachem Aleinu, right? Al tashlichenu milfanecha v'ruach kodesh al tikach mimenu. Don't cast us away from before you. Don't take your Holy Spirit away from us. Al tashlichenu le'eit zikna. Don't cast us away in our old age. Ki chlot kochenu al tazvenu. We have no strength left. Al tazvenu. Don't leave us. Don't abandon us. It's like so simple, but it's the prayer that we're basically. It's this murmur, this groan that lying beneath all of those details that we have to say to God, all the details of our life, is this one cry, this one groan. Why did you leave me? When a person is sick, God forbid, say they have a fever, and they feel that they have a really bad headache. And they scream, they cry over their headache. Are they really crying just because of their head? They're crying because they're screaming out because they have a disease, because they're ill. But since right now they feel it in their head, so they're crying about their head. But the cry, the scream, is about the entire illness. So too, every person, we all know that all of the individual falls, all of the descents of our soul, all of our pains, all of our bodies fall. It all comes from this abandonment that we can cast away from. Because even somebody who's screaming just about their sins, not about the big picture, which is this distance from God. If they do tshuva just over this one, behavior or this one sin, there's a Gemara Brachot. There's a whole list of things of Rabbanim saying it's chutzpahdik, somebody who does this. It's chutzpahdik, it's brazen, it's arrogant. So the last line there, if I'm not mistaken, is it's chutzpah to me, somebody who goes around detailing their sins, focusing on the pshat there in the Gemara is somebody who's being explicit about, and I did this, and they're saying, and I did this, and I did this, because it's as if to say, like, they have no fear to talk about all the things that they did wrong. But what the Rebbe is doing about this is saying, you're going around saying, this is where I was off. And it was just, I put on my tefillin this way, and I did it, 6 instead of 7, and I'm sorry, God, and I'll make sure to never do that again. It's chutzpah. To stand there talking to God about your individual sins. You think you're this, in your entire life, you're this pure, righteous person. You messed up here, and you messed up there, and fix those things, and you're perfect. Get over it. It's chutzpahdik to stand there and talk to God about your sins. Because you're assuming that the big picture isn't missing. Right. You're assuming that on the big picture you're all good, and there's just a few adjustments you need to make. Which may be connected to why we don't say vidui at all in Rosh Hashana. Right? We're going to get to the nature of Rosh Hashana itself soon. Right now we're just talking big picture, tshuva, distance. But Rosh Hashana, we don't talk about sins at all. What's there to talk about? Utshuvat ha'ish Yisrael, but the tshuva, the real tshuva here, even when we do, obviously we do have a pattern. We look at the individual things, the individual components of our life, and those are the places where we try to make improvements, where we try to make progress. So yeah, even if we're doing tshuva for the individual pieces, but the tshuva still, even with all of the details, it needs to be on the entire azeva, the abandonment itself. That's where we need to make the tshuva. That's the divide we need to. That's where we need to build a bridge. And that core gap between us and God. That is the cause. That's the root cause of why we have all these individual places in our life where we're off. Why we have all of these places where we've fallen, where we continue to fall. It's not because of those things themselves. There's a root cause to it, and that's the place where the tshuva needs to take place. That's where it needs to be focused. And then, when we can feel on the large scale our abandonment from God, our distance from God. So then, also when we daven about specific things that we're lacking in our lives, whether they're physical needs, whether they're spiritual needs, the places where we're weak, the places that are we just feel completely off. And then they become one true prayer. Then all of the details are part of that attempt to actually draw close to God. Kulan tshuva. They're all part of returning to God. Shemishtokek lashuvu itkarev l'kedusha, where that it's thirsting to draw close, to return to this holiness. V'kulam tzoek, in all of those small details, all those words that we're saying, it's all screaming one thing: Hashivenu Hashem Elecha. Bring us close to you, God. Shelo eyaneh zatecha. Don't let me be. Don't leave me. Don't neglect me. I mean, already the Rebbe is giving us some guidance here. First of all, the Rebbe is telling us, you know what? If you really want to do this tshuva thing, you gotta do it at the root. If you do it just at the outer branches and leaves, it's like you're pruning a bush, but the bush is sick. Right? You're treating the symptom instead of the cause, and you're fooling yourself, and it's chutzpah. What we have to do, Rebbe says here, we have to allow ourselves to feel how just thrust away we are. We have to be castaways. We have to feel the abandonment. We have to feel God's abandonment of us. And from that place, that's where true prayer comes from. And if we get to the details are stemming from there. Objectively, the details are stemming from there in our lives. And for us to do tshuva from our own inner experience, we have to see all of it as part of the big thing. Not like God, get me new shoes. My shoes are dirty. Not even God, give me a new leg. My leg is broken. God, I'm sick. I'm lost. You're lost. Where are we, Bichlal? How could you do this? It's simple, but in some ways more painful, because we have to allow the enormity of it to sink in.
Very existential.
Very existential. It's touching the core.
Yeah.
We have to. It has to be from the core.
Much more painful than new shoes.
Right.
It's far more painful
right.
than.
And the thing is, in some ways, it's more painful. But the thing is that there's also a deep comfort in it, because we are so pained over the mistakes we continue to not be able to get over. I keep falling into the same trap. I'm never going to come close to God. Guess what? You keep falling into the same trap because you live in the gutter, and you don't live in the gutter because you chose it. This is our starting point. Just look at open your eyes, look at our world. God is homeless. God made you homeless. That's where you got to start. You don't have a spiritual home in this world. Start to pray from that place. And that's where you can meet God. That's where you have a chance to start entering into whatever realm of Kedusha there is. Don't think that the starting point is you're supposed to be perfect and supposed to not have mistakes and sins. It's like, are you kidding? Are any of us kidding? From the moment of the Churban, Rebbe is saying this is nothing new. For thousands of years already, there's been no such thing as a Avodah Zarah and no Shekhinah that we can identify in this world. No godly presence revealed to us. That is our starting point. So Chevra, come to Rosh Hashana, you can't be beating yourself up there. This isn't about the mistakes you made. This isn't about the mistakes that you made. This is about an opportunity for you to find the place inside of you that can hope to take a step closer to God and can beg God to take a step closer to the world. Think about all the prayers of Rosh Hashana. Just think about what we pray for. What are we saying? Make the world so aware of your presence that we're stricken by it. Right? Let the world just prostrate themselves before you, not because they're all serving foreign gods, but because we have no idea where you are. Come out of hiding. Bring the worlds together with that realization to actually be able to live in a godly way. With our whole heart. Not with this idea that we're sort of still groping in the dark after. Right? What comes after that? Soon. As if we know God. Okay, there's different ways you could type stuff, but we're admitting in those prayers that we don't know that you run the world. And we're praying the whole time. Very simple things. God, let the world know that you run the world. Let the world know about you. Right? Where does it go? Let the world have an awareness that you're such a pumping existence, that you're behind all of reality. Let every creature have the innate understanding of where we come from. We're just basically praying over and over again. We're saying, here's a day where we can address our source and just say, we don't know where you are. Please show us it. Show the whole, and not just us, the whole world. The whole world. As the Rebbe says here, Hashivenu Hashem Elecha, bring us close to you, Shelo Eheye Ne'ezav Mincha, so that I will not be abandoned by you anymore. Don't let us continue to be abandoned. I'll read one more paragraph, okay? Yeah. V'David HaMelech shetiken ata Tehillim gam lanu. Right, I told you the Tikkun Ezor and the Tehillim, it's like the two hands of the month of Elul. Those are the things that Chassidim are saying every day in Elul. David HaMelech, who wrote this Tehillim, Keli, Keli, Lama, the Son of God, my God, why did you abandon me? He wrote it for us too. He wasn't just talking about his own that experience in that moment. Mitpalel b'tfila zu shel Keli, Keli al hakol b'yachad. If you read Tehillim Kafbet, Tehillim 22, the Rebbe is now fleshing out from that paragraph of Tehillim how David HaMelech is touching all parts of this spectrum. As he says, V'ata kadosh ushev tilo Yisrael. God, you are the Holy One, Yoshev tilo Yisrael. You sit upon the praises of Am Yisrael. Shehi tefila al tzarchei shemayim. What David HaMelech is doing in this prayer, after he says, God, God, why did you abandon me? He turns to God and he says, come on, God, you need us to not be abandoned. Your throne in this world is the praises of Am Yisrael, those people who you left. The praises of Am Yisrael, that is your throne of glory in this world. You know where your throne is now? They are abandoned. They are nifgamim. They've been battered and abandoned. Your throne is broken because of this, God. In the very same breath, he's also praying about the needs of humanity, of his own needs. I'm the disgrace of every human being. I'm the scorned. We're the scorned of all the nations. Everyone who sees me, they're going to taunt me and laugh at me. Then he jumps in the next line to a prayer about spiritual matters. Nafshi, save my soul from the sword. Miyad kelev yechidati, my yechida, my one, the part of me that's bound up in oneness. Save it from the hungry dogs. Al kol madrigot hanefesh, Rabbi says, ad hayechida mitpalel. David HaMelech is praying from the nefesh, from the fleshly soul to the yechidah, to the place that's completely bound up with God. Save the whole, save every part of my soul's existence. Shelo tipol b'yidei asitrach v'chas b'sham, so that it does not fall into foreign hands. All hatfilot. So the Rebbe is reading here that David HaMelech is showing us here too. All prayers about our body, all prayers about our soul, all prayers for God's sake in this world. It's all one prayer about this abandonment. Vitzoek, Eli, Eli, lama. My God, why did you abandon me? Also, God is called here Eli. The starting point is, I know that you and I belong together and that you've left me. It's not some conceptual theology we're talking about. It's imminent. It's personal.
Very real.
Got to take it personally.
Very real.
We got to take it personally that God isn't showing up for us. That's what the Rebbe is saying where we have to start Rosh Hashana. Is it okay with you for me to read a few more sentences?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I do want us to get enough ahead here that we can get into the next piece next week. Right, going back to the source here. All of this abandonment, this is the reality for everyone who is not among the Mare Raze Torah, the people who are not living in the secret of Torah. Because those who are living in the Torah secrets, even in exile, even in their yeridah, even in their descent, in their fallenness, there, what it means to be attached to the secrets of Torah is that even in your fall and even in the exile reality you live in, you're still close to God. Your soul is bound up with God. So what we need to do is come closer to being among those who are the masters of Raze Torah, the ones who are tuned into that secret. Even people who aren't Mibnei Aliyah, we're not the elites here. We're not the masters of the generation. That's understatement. According to your level, to your life, to who you are, there's an access point. And that's your secret. That's your secret. Yashemi Parach Yoshev Tehilot Yisrael Ve'hein HaKiseh Kavod Shelo. Right? What did David HaMelech say? David HaMelech said that Am Yisrael is the throne of God. Every single one of us is a part of God's throne. There's a spark of God's holiness that is alive within us and that we reveal in our individual being. However we are, there's a piece of God that's living within us. That's why in the Tikkunim it says that Yisrael is the letters Shir El, the song of God. Yisrael is not just the people who come from a guy named Israel. The souls of Israel are God's song. Zeu Yisrael. What is Yisrael truly? Galut Hashem u'kedushato. Mitgaleh al yedeihem ba'olam. God's greatness and holiness is revealed through them in this world. Ayedei shemitnotzetz behem. By its sparkling within them. Vehem megalim ota, and they uncover it, bring it, and share it, and carry it in the world. Ukmoshe omrim, it said the Yehirat on the prayer, the introductory prayer to Tehillim. Titorer chavatzot hasharon nashir b'konaim. Through the merit of saying Tehillim, let the I don't remember what kind of flower this is, but the flower, the lily of the valley, the rose, is it a rose? The rose of Sharon, let it awaken to sing in a beautiful voice. This is a symbol of the Knesset Yisrael, of the togetherness of Am Yisrael. This singing rose. The prayer that we say before saying Tehillim is through Tehillim. Let the song of your flower sing. Tehillim is meant to let this song be uncovered. To let the song that each one of us participates in and is, so to speak, a note of God's song that's not being heard in the world, that's what we're here to do, to sing that song. That's the prayer behind the prayer. Prayer is let the song be sung, let the song be heard. Okay, there's a lot more now. We're not going to go on to the next piece till next week. What the Rebbe is urging us to do here is to touch, to feel into the core of what's missing between us and God. To not just hold on to small details that we can point to, oh, this is the thing I messed up in, and here's where I messed up, and here's where I'm never going to make it. You don't get any chizuk there. You don't get any strength from that, and you don't actually come close to God that way. Because our distance from God is existential. It's core, it's real, and it's not absolute. And it's through feeling into that place where God has abandoned me, where I can turn and say, why have you left me? From that prayer itself, what is beneath that prayer is the part of me that can draw strength. Because there's a part of me there that's still strong. There's a part of me that knows that this isn't where I'm supposed to be. This isn't where you're supposed to be. There's a song, there's an audible song murmuring beneath all of that. That if I can turn to God from that place, if I can turn inward and touch into that place and pray from that place, and even just sit in that place, this is where the bridge can be built. This is where the bridge can be built.
Very deep. That's much deeper than a bucket list of what you haven't done right.
Right. Yes. Well said.
Yeah.
But it's reachable because I'm understanding so eloquently explaining this. It's not God out there as a theology. There's something inside of each one of us that we're distant from. And when we say Keli, Keli, like I need to be close to that part of you in me.
Yes.
And that's what I'm in exile from.
Yes.
And that's why I'll make this mistake or that mistake. But to just repair, it's like when you need surgery and you put a Band-Aid.
Right. And it's up to us to start the conversation for real.
Yeah.
Right? And once what we're shifting the conversation from is like, God, I'm done talking with you about the small things.
Yes.
Right.
Because if I talk to you about small things, then I get a small God in return. But when I talk to you from this core point of self in exile, of self that's lost, that's abandoned, that is touching into the you that is in exile. And that's the place where you and I not only need to meet, but there's a possibility for us to share an existence and a world together. And this is a place where our world can heal. This is a place where healing can come from, and not just, putting a bandage over a cut that's going to maybe heal, maybe open up again. Like, let's give up the charades.
Right. It's not cosmetic. This is deeper. This is into
So we'll pause here for this week. We have a lot to sit with. We have a lot to pray with. We have a lot to absorb. And where the Rebbe is going to take us next week is even deeper towards Rosh Hashana itself, towards the shofar, towards specific prayers as well. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
That was
coming.
amazing.
30 years, 10 years after that,